Thank you a lot for the introduction, Natal. So my name is Dimitri Pirnay, and I'm from OneBonsai. So we make indeed virtual reality trainings. We got invited by the HRCore organizers, asking us if we would be interested to share our work during their event. So today I will talk about our findings and how this can be linked to the future of HR and the future of recruitment. The slides will be shared, so that's a file that I'll make sure to get to you. And if you have a questions, as Natal mentioned, just put it in the Q&A section on the right side of your screen, and I will make sure to answer it like the best that I can. So at OneBonsai, when we talk about virtual reality trainings, we are not talking about internet-based learning or e-learning, the kinds that you actually follow on your computer at home or smartphone in the train. No, we talk about training that happens inside of a virtual reality headset. So an actual headset that you have to put on your head and that immerses you into a training situation. So why should you listen to us? So, why is OneBonsai speaking today at HRCore and not a company? So, we are one of a kind. So we worked across many different sectors. Our VR trainings are actively used today to train nurses working in hospitals, police on their field operations, training logistics personnel on their daily work. We are training the Belgian Navy that uses our VR trainings to train on marine firefighting and so on and so forth. So in this presentation, I will show you and tell you as much as possible about our work. And, you might tell me, hey, but, I'm a white collar worker. I don't have to train military marine firefighters. We are just working in an office environment on computers. We don't need virtual reality for the kind of trainings that we have to do. So that would be right. But at the same time, you also have to train your personnel on, fire safety, evacuation procedures, soft skills like negotiation and conflict management, and even for these less spectacular training materials, virtual reality has a lot of value. It has a lot of value because there are a few key challenges in training. The first one being time. Second one, training environments and training materials. So people have very small time quotas to train on their skills. For example, the Belgian police, they only get 16 hours per year to actually train on all their police procedures. And when the training is actually given, a lot of precious time is wasted on, travel, preparation, waiting for your turn, and that's a lot of time wasted. And there are also too many skills, procedures and handlings that people have to train on and refresh on. So within these kind of time quotas, it's really difficult to refresh all your skills and get trained properly. So what if, we could find a way to train more skills and procedures in less time, more efficiently with less material? So the solution that OneBonsai provides is short virtual reality trainings that are laser focused on specific skills, procedures, and handlings. Given that this is a live demo, I'm not going to show you videos on top of my slides. This would give you kind of a bad experience. What I will do, though, is actually share my contents through the Q&A poll. Add your name. Through the Q&A poll directly through Brella. So you're going to see my links appearing on the right side of your screen. So how do you use our VR training solutions? So imagine you're a desk employee, working in the office, and it's 10 a.m. and you have a meeting that is about to start at 10:30. So on the same floor at your office, there's a virtual reality headset available, like one just like this one. So you can simply stand up, go pick it up, and go back at your own desk in your own chair, and you can start your training journey. So you log in with your employee ID directly in the VR headset, and you have access to the catalog of VR training modules that are available to you. Let's say that you have to do the fire safety and evacuation training. So for the next 10 minutes, the VR headset is going to give you a refresher of the fire training procedure. A virtual coach is going to give you explanations. The headset in some way becomes the teacher. It quickly guides the trainee through the onboarding of virtual reality. You get immersed into different virtual environments. The ones of you watching the video that I've linked can actually see many examples of these VR environments. And they have virtual objects that they can interact with and that they can actually use. And so reality is properly reproduced in these virtual simulations. And then you go through some practical situations where you have to adapt the procedure to complex, immersive situations where when you feel ready, you can take on the exam. So you can do as many mistakes as you want when you're in learning mode. And then you have to actually pass a validation exercise. During that validation exercise, you basically don't get any explanations anymore. You go through some sort of short exams, like 3 minutes in which you're presented with a realistic simulation and you have to apply all the skills that you've just reviewed. You have to adapt the theory and the procedures that you have just practiced to this new situation. So it's really the true test, to make sure that you have a true understanding of what you are doing and why you're doing it. And all your training journey gets recorded. That's one of the key elements of virtual reality training, is that we can record and monitor everything that is going on, the entire learning journey. And so I can share in the same Q&A poll a few additional links to give you an idea of, basically to share with you like more examples, so to speak, of these things. That's one link, and that's the second. And so at the end of the day, like only 25 minutes have passed, and within these 25 minutes, you have reviewed like the theory of fire safety, for example, you have practiced them in a virtual simulation, and you have validated the skills by passing the exams, and your performance is reported in the dashboard and available to the rest of your organization. And only 25 minutes have passed, so it was really like unobtrusive in your day, in your workday. And this example is about, like what happens if you have to do a fire training, but there are many different types of trainings, such as, first aid, logistics trainings, ergonomics, negotiation, hospital and nursing. That link displayed on the slide, I've shared already in the Q&A poll. Oops, that's not my intent. I'm going to click next, and I'm going to use the arrow to switch them to the next slide. So you're going to tell me like, yes, Dimitri, that's great. Like, but hey, VR is bulky. It's complex to use. It's a new technology. It's expensive. How can my people use VR trainings without getting tangled in the spaghetti of wires and complex software installations? So yes, indeed, it used to be like this, but VR is very young. 2 years ago, a VR headset meant a large, bulky device with sensors attached to the walls and so on. But now it has entirely changed. So a VR headset fits into a small package like this. That's about the size of I don't know, some kind of a dinosaur egg. And everything happens actually inside of the device. It can hold hundreds of hours of training material. And so how do people use logistics for VR training? Well, many people use their own devices. As of today, 4% of homes have a VR headset available. It's not much, but it's already super impressive for such a new technology. And it's an exponential growth that is going faster now than ever. Either people use their own device, or they can get them at home in an ad hoc basis based on what they need to be, depending on their training needs, or they can have them available at the office, and that's going to be at least when the lockdown is over. And so it's really easy to scale. So here's a good example of a setup that we have at a client company. So it's this one is actually set up at the Nike's logistics center here in Belgium. I can copy another link here in the Q&A poll for more visual content. And so you can train as many people as you have headsets available. So for clients such as Nike, like that's a huge added value. Like they have a very high seasonality. They need to train hundreds of people in a matter of a few days prior to the Black Week. And so VR training allows them to do so. And they don't use it only for training, actually. They also use it to select new workers, recruit them. They get new candidates to go through the VR training, and they are able to check their ability to learn procedures fast, adapt to new situations, learn the work culture at Nike. What's the definition of a job well done? What does it mean to finish work on time? Like what to do if there's an emergency, how to detect safety issues. So all of these, training materials like happen directly inside of the VR headset. And given that we record everything that's going on in the headset, we can use it to certify employees. We know what they succeed, we know what they fail, and therefore, we are able to give them a training summary. What are the pedagogical contents that have been succeeded, and we can vet them, giving access to a online platform where you can actually follow the entire training journey. So thanks a lot for your attention. If you're interested in what we do or in VR in general, just don't hesitate coming in touch with us. We will be super happy to actually meet you and discuss what we are able to do for you. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dimitri. A quick question for you before you go. So what are there certain roles or industries where you're thinking VI is making more of a difference than others? So is it more kind of relevant for certain roles and industries, or is this something that kind of everyone can start to use? What's your thoughts there?
Well, for a while, virtual reality was expensive. And so when VR was actually expensive, it was important to offset a high capital investment on either a very large number of trainees or a very expensive training to implement. But now this dynamic has changed. Like you can, buy off-the-shelf trainings for which you're not going to pay the full capital investment. You're just going to pay basically what you're consuming. And this allows, even small companies or small dedicated trainings to be put in the hands of those who need it, like the companies and the trainees, for a very low cost. And so therefore, that opens the gates to VR training to I would say all companies of all sizes, of all kinds of skills, if you see what I mean.
Excellent, great. Thank you so much. That was really useful and starts to demystify the world of VI for us. I actually saw that there was an article recently of people at Deloitte, I believe, sitting in their meetings, and they were using VI just to create a little bit of a difference for their meetings. So we might be able to be, exactly. So
that's for the next HR Core event, maybe.
Yeah, totally. Is that what you do at OneBonsai?
We do it sometimes, yes. Yeah. A few team buildings we've done in virtual reality. It's a good way of hanging around, and I would say like doing something a bit more sporty and intuitive in the human exchange.
Great, excellent. Thank you so much, Dimitri, and thank you everyone.